Well, welcome back to the Timeline Ranch. It's a fairly calm morning compared to yesterday. I'll show you what the plans are for today. A little bit of color in the sunrise this morning. You can see the mountains a lot better over there. The wind died down about 2 in the morning. It's supposed to be windy again today, a little later on, and a 50% chance of rain. Now, honestly, I hope it doesn't rain enough that water runs into the pond, because that will stop me from getting down to 25 feet. So this morning I'm going to get back on hauling spoils out of the pond to give me some more room for more spoils. I'm going to load the dump trailer up with a load of spoils and bring the excavator up here and knock this down. You know, this lower road, if you didn't catch the video from the other day, this part of the road is a little too steep to make it up with the dump trailer when it's loaded. What I'm doing is making a little bit lower road right here, and I'm gonna leave, that how it is. So there'll be a little bit of rock bank right there and a step down. This will keep going out about 100 feet once I can get the trucks, the head of the truck facing that ridge over there. That'll allow me to back up and dump spoils when I build this road that goes up to the water tank building. So that's where I'm losing the spoils out of the pond right now. Of course, I have a lot of other areas that I could use some spoils, but I'd like to go ahead and get that where I can keep going up. Now let's go down to the pond, take a look at the spoil pile. So here we are at the pond. I just measured from this edge, see my foot right there. Now this is a level plane all the way down here. I shot all this in with the instrument. Right now it's sitting at 10 feet down there. And over here in this deep pocket, we're sitting at 15 feet. Did a little progress yesterday on the depth of the pond. What slows me down is having to haul these spoils out of here, which is what I plan to do this morning. I need to work this back enough that I have room for more spoils. So I'll probably do like I did yesterday, work half a day hauling spoils, and then switch back to the jackhammer, take another lift out of here, keep working my way down like that. I still have 7 days to make the magic happen. Hopefully I can hit that 25 feet in that time. Yeah, I just need more time. That's the issue with the ranch, going so slow. I'm just not here to work on it. Well, let me fire the machine up and hook the trailer back to the truck. Get to work. That's 11 scoops. That's as much as I'm gonna put trying to get up on that dry powdery road the way it is. Well, let me take it up there on my road.
Well, I got it walked in pretty good with the excavator. It's starting to look like a road now. Once I back over it a few hundred times with a dump trailer, it'll be good and solid. I'm going to keep working my way at this height that I've got, this pitch that I have going right now. It should meet that other little hilltop over there that's all solid rock. And then I'll start, once I get out about 100 feet, you know, where I can get the truck straight when I'm pulling forward to back this direction, I'll start building this hill back this other way. And then it should be pretty easy to get the material up here. I can drive forward all the way to there and then just start backing up, you know, to the top of this ridge to build the pad for that tank building. Now let me get back down there and load some more dirt in the trailer. Well, that'd be the second load for the day. Let me get this up there on the road. Well, starting to sprinkle a little bit. You know, I wouldn't mind if it had a real light rain. You know, nothing that made water run into the pond, but enough to make that old powdery soil up there on the road that I can't get traction in get compacted back down. It's been a while since I've seen any raindrops out here. I'm finished loading this trailer up. Well, I don't know if that was it for the rain. We got some blue skies back there. It was only supposed to rain for a couple hours. So that may have been it. Well, let me get this load up there. This will be the fourth load of the day on the road. this load right over there on the road, and then take the excavator up there and knock down all the spools I got. Looks like Princess wants to get into action. She found a crystal. Anyway, I'm gonna haul that up there and knock down those spools. Well, it's raining a little bit again. I'm not complaining. Hopefully it'll beat this dust down. Maybe it'll rain enough where I can get some more traction with the truck. But I'm gonna keep working this other pile I got here back. Get this all smoothed out real good and walked in. Then I'm gonna head back down to the pond, change to the jackhammer, and break out another layer of that bottom portion. And pull that out. I think that'll probably be the day. Made some decent progress today, I think. Let's get to it. Making some decent progress, and the track came off. I just tightened the tracks up yesterday on this thing. It must have just gotten a bind and popped off there. Well, let me go get some tools. get this thing down on a little bit flatter ground and get it back on there. Always something. May or may not have seen me put a track back on this excavator. Right there where you see that extension sticking out, that's where you fill the grease into the expansion ram that pushes the idler out. So you got to take that out along with the grease cert and then push that idler back to allow enough slack to get the track back on. And you want it sitting just barely off the ground. That takes the play out of the track, makes it a lot easier to get on there. So I got it broke loose. I'm going to take that out all the way. You'll see a bunch of grease come out of that where that extension's sticking out. I'll clean it up with some paper towels and get the track back on, put it back on and grease it up. Should be back in action. This is the grease adapter, but you want to take the whole thing out to get that grease out. You see I use a 2x4 on the blade to push this idler back. It's almost all the way up against right here wherever we touch. That's what you want to see. And you see about a half a tube of grease right there. Clean that mess up and then take the pry bar and work this track back on the sprocket in the back. And it should be pretty close to being lined up. I'll just set it all the way down, stuff for about a ½ inch off the ground and work it on there with the pry bar. Well, the track's back on. It's time to get back to work. Yeah, I think this should work nicely. Nice little merge into the other pitch of the road there. I'm gonna leave a little pocket right there, right in there for that sotol and a little bit of lechugias. I may plant a palm there later, one of those Phoenix dactylifrium, date palm. Yeah, I think if I keep this angle right here that I've got going, I should clear this solid rock behind me. All this is solid rock there. I call that solid rock. I might be able to dig a little bit of it out, but I guarantee you there's solid rock underneath it. It's going to look like what's over there. So I'm going to keep working this grade out right here, out this direction. And then once I hit where I can meet this other height, that'll be my road to back up. And come right across where this rock pile's at. And then I'll turn and go back up, backing and dumping the loads to build that road that goes that way. I think it should work out good. You can see how much higher the other part of the road is, considerably higher. Let me walk this in a little bit, and I'm gonna go down to the pond and put the jackhammer on there and loosen up another layer. Well, it's still pretty windy. I got the jackhammer on the excavator. I'll drop the bucket down there inside the pond over there. After losing that hour putting the track back on though, I think I'm going to call it a day before I get down there and start. I won't want to stop once I start with the jackhammer, so I think I'm going to save that for tomorrow. I'll get back on it again. Made some progress on the pond though, got some spoils out of there, and road looks a little better up there. Well, if you like what I'm doing out here and you want to help speed the process up, there's a few avenues to do that in the description. Buy me a coffee is probably the easiest. There's also an Amazon link. Every little bit will help get me closer to being here full time, and this project will speed up considerably at that point. I'll see you on the next one.